Hey guys, it's me James, and in this video I will be showcasing a high bald fade tutorial with the beard blended in. So first off, you just want to spray down all your clippers with Andy's Cool Care. Start off with that first bald guideline. My client here has a little bit thicker hair, so the trimmers don't work as well. What you guys want to do is, if you have the money for it, you can go ahead and invest in a detachable clipper. Like I have the Andy's BGRCs with the ceramic blades, and you can put the 5-0 blade on there. It gets down nicely, and since it's a detachable clipper, they have so much power, like so much power. It goes through hair like butter pretty much. But especially for all the beginners, I know when I was a beginner, I didn't have all the money to like go out and buy these expensive clippers. So trimmers work just fine, and honestly you don't need much to start out. Just trimmers, clippers, some shears, foil shaver, and you're good, right? So I'm just finishing up balding this guy out, taking my time with it just to get everything down to skin, just so everything's nice and even, so I don't have to do any more work later. And now for my next step, I will be taking my Wahl Magic Clip cordless. I think I have the cord on in this video. It's charging while I'm cutting. So I take that and I go clipper all the way open as here, and I go about 1 inch up. This gives me a lot of room to fade in, and you know, it gives you nice, especially if you're starting out, it gives you a lot of wiggle room because mistakes are inevitable. So might as well make it easy on yourself. It's good to really get consistent at cutting smooth haircuts first before you try some advanced techniques, just so it's peace of mind for you, where you really know that you know what you're doing, right? You know that you can put out consistent results. So how I fade this haircut is I fade down. So I start off with the clipper all the way open, you know, make my first guideline, and then I close it just a little bit, like I close it probably a quarter, and then I go down a quarter from the top. And it just keeps going from there. Like I go halfway closed, and then I hit halfway in between the fade, like in between the guideline that knocks down a little bit more. Then I go 3/4 of the way closed, which is like a quarter above the bottom line, and then finally finish off with the clipper all the way closed to knock out that bottom guideline. And sometimes you're gonna leave a line in from your trimmers, but don't worry about that. If that's the case, you just have to flick it out with your trimmers. You really just got to flick out that bottom line with your trimmers if you have that happen to you. And I'm going ahead and starting with the beard fade. I don't like to switch guards that often, so it's like if I already have the clipper all the way open, might as well just do it. Less guard switching, which is, you know, less time wasted. Here I went ahead and took my clipper with the one guard all the way open. I went about 3/4 of an inch up, and I'm now going halfway to get that middle portion out, just flicking it out, and now all the way closed to get that bottom part. And as you can see, that steps, you don't need to move the lever a lot with the one guard. Everything just fades in nicely. And here I'm taking, I'm hitting that top portion of the fade with the 1.5 guard, halfway open, I believe. Same thing with the bottom of this beard, halfway open, closing it a little bit just to really help it blend. And now, as you guys can see, there's little dark spots. Like, you guys might consider this faded, but no, you really have to pay attention to the details, especially if you want that smooth transition. So that's what the 1/16 guard is for, just to really get those little details and it helps everything flow a lot smoother. Now I'm going to be using clipper over comb just to blend in the top. I don't like using guards. I either use clipper over comb or freehand technique because they save the most time for me. And you know, barbers, you know, time's important. This is a technique that's really important in terms of speeding up your time, because you know, less guard switching. You already have the clipper in hand, and all you're doing is pretty much shaping it to blend it into the top. Went ahead and cleaned up the sides, hitting it with the foil shaver at the bottom. Remember guys, you want to hold the foil shaver nice and light. You want the foil shaver to do the majority of the work. You don't want to press down, you know, because you can create red marks. You don't want that. It's going to irritate your client's skin. And now here I'm going ahead and flicking out that bottom line again, because bottom line sometimes sets in from the shavers. You just want to try and avoid that. But if it happens, it happens. You just got to know how to deal with it. Go ahead and line this top portion of the beard up. And now hitting that line up right there. You want to keep it nice and natural, right? Your job as a barber is not to make it as crisp as possible at the expense of pushing it back, right? You're trying to keep that hairline in place, but then just clean it up a little. I'm just doing some detailing work over here. A little bit of freehand. Now on this side, I went ahead and finished that first guideline with the clipper all the way open. As you can see, I like to scoop down when it gets closer to the hairline, just so it keeps it a little bit darker. And I left a little bit of a ridge, so when I line it up, it's going to be nice and crisp, nice and dark. Then again, fade down. I close my clipper around 4 times, go through the process, and just any dark spots that I see afterwards, I touch up accordingly. Start off with the clipper at a longer setting, just because you don't want to cut it too short, because you can always cut it shorter, you know, but if you cut it too short, it's game over for you. Now again with the beard, start off with the clipper all the way open. I went about an inch down and just faded it in by closing the clipper a little bit each time while getting towards that, or the bald portion of the guideline. Now again here, I'm taking the one guard all the way open, going about 3/4 of an inch up, same thing as the other side. Again, dipping down near the hairline, just to keep the whole shape of the haircut nicely. This guy's getting a slick back, so as you can see in the back, I left it a little bit longer, so the hair on top has structure to sit on. You know, it rests somewhere. So because you don't want the hairs hanging over, especially if they didn't ask for an undercut. You just want everything to blend in nicely. And touch up work here with the 1/16 guard. And as you guys can see, this blend's looking pretty buttery. You know, I feel like I can put it on some pancakes. It's pretty buttery. Now with the 1.5 guard, hit that top portion of the fade, halfway open, flick out, and then here, clipper over comb. I do that a little bit. I resort to freehand techniques, and here you really a tip for freehanding is you can look at it from the front and the back angle while you're cutting the sides, and you'll see all the hairs that's sticking out. And doing this way, because when you're blending into the top, you're pretty much just cutting all the hairs that stick out, right? So this way it saves you a lot of time by not switching guards and stuff. A clipper over comb works fine too, but I feel like shaping it this way, it's more fun, you know, for me at least. I don't know if you guys want like consistency or fun, but if you guys want both, try it out, you know. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys use clipper over comb or freehand technique? Let me know in the comments below. Or do you guys use guards? Yeah, just let me know below. I want to see what techniques you guys use. So clean up the bottom portion of this fade. Let the shaver do all the work. You don't want to press too hard and get him irritated. Now lining up this portion of the beard, getting that side angle, and the top, same thing with the lineup. You just want to keep it nice and natural, nice natural. If they want it lower, you can then you can lower it a little bit, but it's the same rule of thumb. You just want to keep everything pretty much natural. And here I was lining up the bottom of the beard. You know, this is a super bad angle where my camera's positioned. You can pretty much only see the barber cape and the little hairs that are on it. Sort of nasty. So here I'm finishing up his front lineup, keeping everything nice and natural. Be careful not to push it back, but I go to the lowest point and I line everything up accordingly, just so it's nice and straight, nice and crisp. The lineup hairs are not too long, not too short, it's just the right length. Now this guy's getting a slick back, so to style it, you want to get your brush and you want to pull or brush the hair in the direction you want it. In his case, backwards to the back of his head and point the blow dryer with the heat setting on it. Hold it for a couple seconds, and then you hit it with the cool setting. It locks everything in place. Honestly, like, the blow drying is the most important part of styling hair. It's not the product that you put in it. It's the blow drying step. That's what really shapes it. And now I'm just hitting everything with the razor. Use a fresh razor as always. And that is the end of the haircut. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. Comment below what you thought of the video. Check out my page. You can check me out on Instagram at James Severa or at Severa Cuts for my haircut page. And I'll see you guys next video.